Hi, I'm with Paul Gregory from the Financial Markets Authority, and he's the Director of Communications and Investor Capability. He's going to tell us a little bit about a new international initiative. But before we get started, Paul, talk us through this picture out the back there. I think it's a place you like to go if you, after work sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. So the kids love St Heliers Beach, so we take them down there and let them go, basically. So they run around in circles, and it's a nice early bedtime when we get home, and they love it.
We're going to talk a little about this new initiative. It's on an international basis, and IOSCO is running it. It's called World Investor Week. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Sure. Well, IOSCO, for a start, is the international group that brings together securities regulators from around the world. So that's what IOSCO is. And World Investor Week is a new thing that they've done, and it's the first time that it's happening this year. And it's basically about raising awareness about how you make good investment decisions. So what to look out for, what things you need to have in your mind when you're making a decision to improve your own future.
So you think some of those key themes are pretty relevant for New Zealanders as well, particularly our investors. What are the things that the Financial Markets Authority, from your perspective, need to kind of bring to life out of this week? What are your intentions?
Right, well, as a securities regulator, we're a member of IOSCO, so we're doing our bit for the international effort. And obviously, our aim is to have fair, efficient and transparent financial markets, but if nobody's participating in them, that's not much good. So really, it's about supporting this so that people know what they need to know and have the habits that they need to form to participate confidently in financial markets, so they grow, so they have proper depth, so they can be resilient to shocks, that sort of thing, and deliver what they need to deliver over the longer term.
And I think when we think about confidence, and that's something that I think has genuinely grown since the Financial Market Authority has been in practice, what are the things that we do in New Zealand to ensure that, if you like, comfort for investors? Talk us through a bit around the licensing aspect, perhaps, that might give some insight to our listeners and watchers.
Sure, and licensing is important. So licensing is about, it gives offshore organisations the confidence that we've got a regime or a system here, which means that they should expect certain standards, that they know that there is somebody looking at what the financial providers in this country are doing. And then for investors, it gives them a sense of confidence that somebody has gone through a process where the regulator has gone in and had a look at what they're doing, how they're doing it, and who's doing it, yep, and said, yes, that's okay, that needs some improvement. We'll give that one a little bit of a pass, but we'll come back and see you in 6 months' time to make sure that you've done what we say that you need to do to improve it.
Right. Because I guess there just seems to be a growing fear of frauds and scams, and it seems more prolific every year. And I guess there's many ways that people can put up a front, and your job is to make sure, I presume specifically to make sure that our New Zealand investors are getting the best possible protection in this area.
That's right. So licensing doesn't guarantee that nothing's going to go wrong. But what it does do is it gives you some protection if it does. So if you're dealing with a licensed provider and something happens which is wrong, or which you don't like, or which wasn't supposed to happen, or that actually there's been some bad conduct, you have some protection there, that it's probably against the conditions of their license, there's a regulator in place, and we can look into it and hopefully help you out.
Well, that's really important. So a good place to go would be your website. If they're a bit uncertain or unsure, give your office a call around those things. Before we finish up, for the people that are watching this and thinking about investment, what would be one piece of advice that you'd like to share with them that will give them, a place to start or to consider when they're thinking about investment?
Sure. A good place to start is what you don't do. So you don't respond enthusiastically to something which sounds too good to be true, which has got some sort of a guaranteed high returns, if it's got a you can't lose. And also, if it comes to you through a telephone call you get at night, like a cold call, or you get an email that's promising you the earth, or somebody's whispering into your ear about an investment opportunity, it's perfectly okay. In fact, the best response to that is to hang up or delete the email and just forget that it ever happened, because there's plenty of scams and high risk that are typically attached to those sorts of approaches.
It's got to be true to label, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably
is.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming along today, Paul, to give us a bit more insight on this new initiative with IOSCO, this World Investor Week. If you wanted to learn more about what that week's going to be all about, pop along to the FMA website and they'll be able to show you all the initiatives and things that you probably want to know a little bit more about if you are a first-time investor or perhaps understanding some of the risks that are out there. Thanks a lot, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, David.